Hello, welcome to another video, and it is the time to have another football video, as you can tell by my attire. I'm wearing a hat indoors because it says Eagles, I got for Christmas, and I just walked to the post office in the snow and it was really cold. But I haven't done a football video in quite some time, and with the Eagles season coming to an end, basically is over, and the controversy around Saquon Barkley, I figured I'm going to make a video and chit chat about it because I want to. So if you don't know, Saquon Barkley, the running back for the Eagles, has a chance to break the record that's been around for like 40 years of most rushing yards in a season. He's 101 yards away, but the last game for the Eagles means absolutely nothing for the playoffs. They cannot move up, they cannot move down, so who cares? And being that the overall goal is to win a Super Bowl, they're not playing Saquon Barkley. They're not playing a good handful of starters, is what it seems like. And as a fan, obviously, I'm going to sit there and say I'm sad because it would actually be super cool if he did break the record and he have it for however long, stuff like that. But if we're being honest with ourselves, it's a absolute no-brainer to sit him. I don't understand all the pushback. It's literally just I want to see history. I want him to break the record versus, let's guarantee that the Eagles have the best opportunity to win a Super Bowl. It's pretty fucking obvious. I don't know why people even were super crazy about it. I get for people to be disappointed. I get for Barkley to be really, internally upset that he couldn't get the chance to do it. He still hit 2,000 yards, which he's the 9th person to ever do, which huge accomplishment. He's also he's going to be the rushing leader, another huge accomplishment. The season's going to be remembered. Everyone remembers Chris Johnson simply as 2K because he hit 2,000 yards. And I'm pretty sure Barkley has one more yard than him, or they're basically the same yards. People are going to remember this forever, even if Barkley didn't break the record. And you have people that are complaining that good, he's not breaking the record. There's an extra game, so it wouldn't count. There'd be an asterisk, all this stuff. And it's pretty easy to be Eric Dickerson, if you didn't know, he should have an asterisk because he had 2 more games than the previous record holder. And, you can go down such a wild list of some bullshit, which doesn't matter. The overall thing that matters is the most. It's also one game. It's not as if he got 4 extra games, another quarter of a season, which then I think it'd be fair to, have some separation. Even now, I think there could be separation with if he had the record saying he did it in 17, Eric Dickerson did it in 16, and Jim Brown, I think it was, did it or OJ Simpson did it in 14 games. Have that there so people know it, but know that the total highest is this. It just seems ridiculous to me that people are really fighting over, whether or not it would even count. Obviously it would count. And there was the really ridiculous, stupid take that, we've played 16 games for so long that it's like the president or presidents. I don't know English. So by that logic, if he did it, and then if we played 40 years with 17 games, does it then count? Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. That's pure just a judgment thing, which is not how a record is, set in stone. But enough rambling about, the asterisk bullshit of it. I do genuinely think this is the best option and by far the smartest one. I don't think anyone would say it's a dumb option to do this. But even if he played, it's not set in stone that he was going to, get 100 yards. Probably likely playing the Giants, who aren't very good, and knowing of the record, maybe they'd shoot for it. Who knows? But it's not guaranteed. And, there is a relatively decent opportunity for him to simply tweak anything. If he rolled his ankle slightly wrong, He's been very healthy this season, including the few times where you see him come off and you see him with a small limp and you're like, you better be fine. He's fine every time. But even that, if that were to happen, no chances, like, could he go back on? In, like, realistically at all. And you'd think, okay, if he tweaks it at 30 yards, he gets 30 yards in this game, tweaks his ankle, like, just the smallest thing. He's not really hurt, but he just tweaked it. Okay, you just did that for fucking nothing because he got 30 more yards. Okay, still in the 2K range. Maybe he moved up the list slightly, but he doesn't have the record. What the hell was the point of it, right? But I just think being the team player, caring about the team, all this, because if he plays and you think, okay, is he going to go out there with the backups? Probably not. So the whole starting line has to play. They're getting banged up every play. If one of them gets hurt, then it's fucked. If one of them gets hurt and he doesn't get the record, Barkley just kind of looks like a dickhead in a lot of ways because he pushed, didn't get the record, and made the teammates play who then got hurt, who then can't play in the playoffs, which then hurts the team. It doesn't seem like the reward is really high. I will say that. But the risk is just, dude, there's so much more to play for. This is the last meaningless game of the Eagles season. They haven't had a bye week since week 5. They've been playing nonstop. They're banged up. The fucking quarterbacks can't see straight, apparently. So going into the playoffs with that is already enough. Make sure your best player is goddamn healthy. Make sure your best player and your best position group, the O-line, is actually fully healthy, rested, and fucking win the Super Bowl. Also, one other small thing that I saw, which was kind of annoying, is like this whole, well, since you're not giving him the chance to win the record or whatever, well, then you better get the Super Bowl. They're not guaranteed to win the Super Bowl. They're still unlikely to win the Super Bowl, realistically. This is probably their best chance at winning a Super Bowl going into a playoffs. Borderline ever? I don't know. Realistically, like how good the roster is and how well everything was playing. I guess Hurts is hurt, but overall, with Barkley healthy, the O-line healthy, A.J. Brown actually healthy this year as he was hurt in the last game that was basically meaningless last year. Couldn't play against Tampa Bay and we fucking lost. Just don't forget that happened, as if people weren't furious about how pathetic that game went. But I think they want to avoid anything disastrous like that. I think they want to be healthy. They know the playoffs in the NFC is going to be super fucking hard this year. Why do we care about the Giants? The record would be cool. The Super Bowl would be better. I think that's realistically what was decided. Barkley definitely would want it, but there's not even a guarantee he would have gotten it. And if he was struggling, let's just say he was struggling, do you then pull him? So then he played half and got more, yards on his legs for no fucking more wear and tear just because, or like that's the one thing. It's not like if he was like 10 yards, if it was less than 50 yards, I think 100% he'd get it. The fact that it's 101 yards does not mean he's guaranteed to get it. If he busts the run, and it's great because he can do that. But I don't know. That's just my take. I know I'm probably in the majority, I have to say, especially I think with Eagles fans, of the thought of, as a fan and everything, I wanted to see him break it. As an actual fan of as a fan of the team and what's best for them, all this shit. Yeah, I understand and would probably rather that he does not play so that they are actually full strength, ready to go for the most important, 4 games of the season. I'd rather that than potentially him fucking tweaking something and worst case getting hurt without getting the record, which would then be absolutely catastrophic. But that's just my opinion. Make sure to leave yours in the comments, what you think of this whole situation, what you think of the Eagles. Eagles have been playing wonderful, so that's been lovely. I'm all on board on Tanner McKee. He should be our backup over Kenny, honestly, but that's another conversation. But thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Consider subscribing. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.